Hi friends, how are you today? So first of all, thank you so much for all the support that you have given to our channel. So in today's video, we are going to see all about Ponniyin Selvan in 10 minutes. This is the English version. So first, Ponniyin Selvan is a novel written by Kalki Krishnamurthy and it is way back in 1950s he has written. It's a very good story. So it has a lot of characters. What we would do is we would reduce the characters so that we can get the essence of the story under 10 minutes. So what is the theme for this, right? So it is exactly like Game of Thrones. So who is going to take the throne, right? So there are some of the options at the right of the screen. Either it can be Aditya Karigalan, who is the crown prince already, who is supposed to take the throne later. There is another option, Arun Modivarman. So he is the actual Ponniyin Selvan. And there is another option, Madurandagan, who is brother of Sundara Cholan. And is it someone else? So let's see how it unfolds. So just few pages back in history. So there are multiple rulers of Chola kingdom. So whatever is shown in orange color, right? Parandaga Cholan, Arinjaya Cholan, Sundara Cholan. So these guys have ruled. And I have also used some pictures of people so that it's easier to identify the entire presentation. So Gandharaditya is a big devotee of Shiva. So he has told he will not take he will not become the ruler of Chola kingdom. And his son is Madurandaga Chola. So now under Sundara Chola we have Aditya Karigalan, his children Aditya Karigalan, Kundavai and Arulmozhivarman. We'll go to the next part. So there are some key characters in this story. So let's have a quick introduction about that. So it starts with Periya Palavaittarayar. He is known to be a great warrior. He is in his late 60s and he is also one of the small rulers in Chola Empire. He has married Nandini, who is a very good looking person, and she is maybe in and around 20s. And Periya Palavaittarayar's brother Siriya Palavaittarayar, who takes care of Tanjavur Palace. And we have Vanar Kulattu Vandiyathevan, who is the friend and a spy for Aditya Karigalan. We also have Alvar Kadayan Nambi. So he is a spy for the Prime Minister of Prime Minister Brahmarayan, and he's a staunch supporter of Vaishnavism. Veera Pandiyan, who is the ruler of Pandya Kingdom. Sendan Amudan, who is a friend who helps Vanarkulat Vandiyathevan at many instances. Sembiyan Mahadevi, who is the wife of Gandaradityan, who we have seen in previous slide. Kandan Maran, who is the prince of Kadambur, son of Sambura Rayar. Mandagini, she is deaf and dumb and she lives in Sri Lanka. Pungulali is a boat woman who lives in the coastal area. And Ravidasan is a magician who is also holding a great post in Chola kingdom, but he is actually from Pandya kingdom. So this story is in the eyes of Vandiyathevan, though I will go in a non-linear fashion. So starts with Aditya Karigalan. He has won a great battle with Veerapandiyan. He has killed him, and he has constructed a golden palace in Kanchipuram. So he gives a couple of scrolls to Vandiyathevan. So these scrolls are supposed to be given to Kundavai, his sister, as well as Sundara Cholan, his father. The scroll contains the message, please come and visit the golden palace that I am building. So Vandiyathevan goes to Viranam. It's a big lake. So this particular lake, you can just imagine, 11 kilometers across 4 kilometers. It's one of the greatest artificial lake constructions. And he meets Alvar Kadayan Nambi, who was fighting for Vaishnavism is better than Shaivism types. And he stops the fight between people, saying Ariyum Sivanam one Ariyadavar Vailiman. That basically means Shiva and Vishnu are the same. Whoever doesn't know this is not worth anything types. Huh? And then while Madhyadevan and Alvarkade and Nambi are together, they see a chariot which is lifted by people. This is called Pallak in Tamil. So there they see Nandini, who is very beautiful. So the moment Madhyadevan sees, he is also very much impressed with the beauty of Nandini. And then from there, Vandiyathevan and Alvarkade and Nambi goes to Kadambur Palace, Kadambur Maligai, where Vandiyathevan meets his friend Kandan Maran. So Kandan Maran takes him to see some art forms. Some type of festival was going around. And he parts ways by saying that he needs to attend a secret meeting. So Vandiyathevan was very curious. What is this about secret meeting? Why is he leaving me and going away? Because we guys are like close friends. How can he do this to me? So he also follows him. He's just speaking into what's happening in the secret meeting, and he also finds Alvar Nambi also doing the same. So Vandiyathevan has seen Alvar Nambi peeking into what's happening in the secret meeting, but Alvar Nambi hasn't seen Vandiyathevan in this case. So there he sees Periya Palavaittarayar and many of the rulers of small kingdoms gathered together. They were discussing a lot of things about why Aditya Karigalan is spending too much money on building a golden palace, why is Arunmozhivarman fighting a lot of wars in Sri Lanka and wasting all our resources from Tanjavur and other places. So that way there was an intense discussion, and in that discussion they were they were almost about to conclude on the point that it is going nowhere. Let's make Madurandagan as the ruler, the next ruler after Sundara Cholan. And there comes the same Pallak which we have seen earlier with the Nandini. And out of this Pallak comes Madurandagan. So he also joins the meeting. So there's a conspiracy going on. There's a plan that's going on to dethrone Sundara Cholan and make Madurandagan as the next ruler. So meanwhile, after seeing this entire secret meeting, Vandiyathevan on the next day, he is meeting Nandini in on rare instance, and Nandini has given a ring with palm tree. So to Vandiyathevan, so that it helps Vandiyathevan to go to Tanjavur and show this and move forward to meet Sundarachol. Vandiyathevan goes to Tanjavur to meet Sundaracholan to hand over the scroll which Aditya Karigalan has given. It was late in the night, so he had to take help of Sendanamudan, where Sendanamudan helps with food and shelter for the night stay. And then the next day morning, he goes to Tanjavur palace, where he finds Sinna Palavetarayar. And Sinna Palavetarayar is a very difficult person to handle. So he had to show the ring of which Nandini has given to enter the palace. And he passes on the scroll to Sundaracholan that Aditya Karigalan has invited you to the Golden Palace. So while returning back, he finds another secret meeting where Kandan Maran is involved, his friend from Kadambur, and Nandini is also there present in that meeting, along with Ravidasan, who is a Pandya person who is also in Chola kingdom as an authority, who is also a magician. And this secret meeting, they are discussing about how to kill Aditya Karigalan as well as Arunmolivarman and somehow make Pandya rule this. And just after the meeting, Kandan Maran is trying to escape through a tunnel so that no one sees. And the allies of Kandan Maran, one of the allies, stabs him. So Vandiyathevan was secretly following in the tunnel. So he takes Kandan Maran and he gives medical treatment, whatever is possible. And Kandan Maran sees him and he thinks Vandiyathevan has actually stabbed him. And uh, Kandan Maran and Vandiyathevan go to Sendanamudan again, and Sendanamudan helps Vandiyathevan to go to the next place to meet Kundavai, and he takes care of the medical treatment of Kandan Maran. And meanwhile, what has happened is the news has spread that there's one spy from Aditya Karigalan who has stabbed Kandan Maran. So Vandiyathevan is on the lookout for in Chola Empire. So Vandiyathevan meets Kundavai at Palayarai. He gives the scroll, and they get love at first sight. So in the scroll, there's also additional information which Aditya Karigalan has written that Kundavai can use Vandiyathevan for any other spy activities and to pass scrolls, etc. So what Kundavai does is she gives another scroll to give to Arunmolivarman to come to Tanjai, Palayarai, etc. So that somehow she can get her friend Vanati married to Arunmolivarman. Vanati and Arunmolivarman are in love. On the other side, since Vandiyathevan's whereabouts are not heard by Aditya Karigalan, and he also hears that he has stabbed Kandan Maran. So he gives a scroll to Partibendra Pallavan to invite his brother to Kanchi to see the Golden Palace. On the other side, Aditya Karigalan was in love with Nandini. So Nandini has given a scroll to Aditya Karigalan to come to Kadambur Palace. Well, these things are going on. Pungalali, who is the boat woman, she has informed Arunmalivarman that there is a boat or there is a ship that has come with the arrest order from Sundara Cholan and Periya Palavetarayar to arrest Arunmalivarman and bring him to Tanjavur Palace. Now Vandiyathevan goes to Sri Lanka, taking the scroll from Kundavai. So he sees the beauty of Sri Lanka. He also hears from many people in and around, including Alvarkadayan Nambi, that there is a lady by the name Mandakini, and she is a deaf and dumb person. She always helps Arunmalivarman whenever there is a uh, problem which he faces, and she is the one who has also. This is a hearsay, right? So she is the one who has also helped him while he was about to get drowned in Kaveri River. That's the name. That's the reason why the name of Arunmalivarman is also Ponniyin Selvan. So that way, Vandiyathevan is hearing all these things, and he meets Arun Malivarman. Arun Malivarman comes as a soldier on horse rides, and he fights with Vandiyathevan and gets the scroll and he reads. And later they become good friends. So now Arun Malivarman has three options: either to go to his sister Kundavai, or to his brother Aditya Karigalan, or to his father with the arrest message, right, to Tanjavur. So he selects the option of let me go to my father. Anyways, that's the biggest order that I have out of these three options. And meanwhile, there's a Arab ship. Arabians have wrecked a ship, and in that ship, somehow Vandiyathevan goes and gets arrested there. And Uh, and knowing this, Arunmolivarman somehow tries to help Vandiyathevan and he brings him out of the ship. But unfortunately, what happens there is there's a huge cyclone that comes in the sea, and somehow Arunmolivarman and Vandiyathevan had to catch a log of wood and just hold it for a day or so in the sea, deep sea, to survive. And that is the time when Pungalali comes and she takes Vandiyathevan and Arunmolivarman on a boat and comes to Tamil Nadu, Nagapattinam. And here, Arunmolivarman catches viral fever, and it's a very strong fever. So many of the guys in between think that Arunmolivarman has already died during the cyclone. So that way, Pungalali, with the instruction of Kundavai, admits him to a place which is also a Buddhist monastery in Nagapattinam. So Arunmolivarman's whereabouts are not known to many. Only a few know about this. So now there are two important things that are going to happen. One is in the Tanjavur palace. So with the instruction of Kundavai, Pungalali brings Arunmolivarman to Tanjavur palace, and all these three guys are speaking. At one point in time, when Kundavai and Arunmolivarman are speaking, and Pungalali is in some discussions with the Sinnapalavai and others, so she sees a sword flying towards Sundarachola, and that is the time when, out of nowhere, Mandagini comes, and she comes in between the sword and Sundaracholan, and she gets killed by the sword. So this is one part that happens. The second one, this is on the Kadambur palace. So since Nandini has asked Aditya Karigalan to come there, Aditya Karigalan comes there, and at the same time, Vandiyathevan goes and meets Aditya Karigalan, and he says, since he knows all the story of how Nandini wants to kill him, so he asks him, requests him not to go to uh, this place, Kadambur Malige, to see Nandini. And somehow Nandini has brainwashed Aditya Karigalan to come there, so they both have a fight and they don't gel well now. So Aditya Karigalan says not to interfere in his matters, and then he goes on to meet Nandini. At the same point in time, Periya Palavaittaraiyar also comes to the place, and Ravidasan is also hidden. And at one point in time, a sword uh, is put on the ground. There's a sound coming from the sword, and there was dead silence in the place, as well as the lights have been turned off because of a huge wind. So the moment light is turned on, there are only two people in the room. One is Vandiyathevan, who is also kind of injured because someone has strangled his neck from the back. And there is Aditya Karigalan, who is dead with that particular sword killing him. So again, now Vandiyathevan is seen as the murderer, and he gets arrested. But after some time, Periya Palavaittaraiyar comes in rescue. He says, somehow I only has thrown the sword. There's no problem with Vandiyathevan because already he has been convicted, etc. So he brings him out. So while these things are happening, there was another place where Arunmolivarman was about to get killed by an elephant. Since Arunmolivarman knows how to speak to elephant, etc., so he was not killed by that elephant. So if you see, Sundaracholan was about to get murdered, Arunmolivarman was about to get murdered, Aditya Karigalan was about to get murdered. Aditya Karigalan was murdered, in fact. So now what happens next? So now we have Arunmolivarman. So he is supposed to get the throne since Aditya Karigalan is no more. So there's a huge coronation ceremony that's going to take place, and during the coronation ceremony, Arunmolivarman passes on the throne to Madhurandaka Chola, his dad's brother, right, stepbrother type. And this Madhurandaka Chola is not the one who we have seen earlier. This is actually Sendanamudan. Now you can think, how is this happening? Why is this happening, etc. So the story ends right here. There are some subplots to make us understand what all has happened. So before going to Sendanamudan part, let's go to understand how Aditya Karigalan was killed. Why Aditya Karigalan was killed by Nandini's plot. So there was a war between Aditya Karigalan and Veerapandiyan, and during the war, Veerapandiyan has gone for rescue, and he starts hiding in some places or the other. And with one of the hint given by Alvarkade and Nambi, Aditya Karigalan finds Veerapandiyan in a hut where he is being treated by Nandini, medical treated by Nandini. And since Aditya Karigalan and Nandini were lovers, Aditya Karigalan, though Nandini was pleading not to kill Veerapandiyan, Aditya Karigalan kills Veerapandiyan and takes his head to Kanjipuram. Now, who is Nandini? Who is Sendanamudan? Who is the other Madhuranagan? We will see in the next part. So we have Sembi and Madevi, who is the wife of Gandaraditya, right? So they give birth to a dead child, and she also understands by the same time a deaf and dumb woman has given birth to a twins. One is male and one is female. So what she does is she exchanges the children, so the male child. So this particular deaf and dumb woman is Mandagini. So she takes the child of Mandagini and she starts uh, growing that particular child. So that child is now named Madanandana. Now the actual child which Sembiyan Madevi has given birth to was born dead. So that particular child wakes up with some treatment, and that particular child is being raised in Tanjavur. And Sembiyan Madevi also knows about this. This is the actual child of Sembiyan Madevi, who is Sendanamudan. So that's the reason why. So Arunmalivarman gives the throne to Sendanamudan, who is actually the right person. And Nandini is born to the other twin of Madurandagan, right? Who Sembiyan Madevi was raising. That was Nandini, who is the child of Mandagini. So now there's also a story where Mandagini and Sundarachola were in love when Sundarachola was in Sri Lanka, and later, kind of, he has ditched her and moved to uh, Tanjavur. Right? So this is another part of the story. But actually speaking, Mandagini has gone mad, and somehow she, because of her beauty, etc., she marries Veerapandiyan, and both Nandini as well as Madurandagan, the earlier Madurandagan, both of them were the children of Veerapandiyan. So that's the reason why Nandini was pleading to Aditya Karigalan not to kill Sundarapandiyan, because it was her father. Okay, so this is how the story ends. So Sendanamudan is now named Uttama Cholan, and he takes care of the rule for some amount of years. And after his rule, again came back Arunmolivarman as the ruler. So this Arunmolivarman, while he is ruling, his name is Rajaraja Chola. One. After that comes Rajendra Chola, etc. So this is actually a wonderful story with lot of twists, turns, lot of characters, lot of detailing, etc. And there are some places where the author also makes us think who could be who, why exactly this has happened, etc. One of the best novels that has come in Tamil. So if you have some time, you can definitely give this a read. And anyways, it is coming as Ponniyin Selvan from Maniratnam as well. So not everything in this book is a history part. There is some bit of spice which author Kalki Krishnamurti has also added. Great friends. So that's the end of this particular video. Please do help us with subscribing, liking, sharing this video, and also please write your comments. Since it's a huge story, I think there may be many characters which you like, many plots that you would like. You can also please write comments about it. We will also come up with videos about the characters, specifically explaining about some of the characters and detailing as well. So this is something which we will come out with. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.